Hello everyone. Today I will be bringing you through the one part of H2 computing that no one actually taught you. This is of course how to navigate your CMD. The thing is, they kind of just give you like two lines, tell you to memorize it, and don't really elaborate on the different things you can do in your CMD. All they kind of tell you is, oh, you need to know how to navigate and how to create folders, but I think that having a good understanding of how to use all of the commands you can use in your CMD will give you an upper edge, especially because you're not allowed to just anyhow manipulate your files and move stuff around in the actual exam. So here are a bunch of commands that I really want to teach you, and I think should be everything you need to know. Absolutely everything you need to know for both computing and I would say basic knowledge of how to use your CMD. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So firstly, the first thing I would like to teach you is mkdir. Mkdir is make directory. mkdir allows you to create a folder of your own. So in this case, if I mkdir my folder, I now have a folder that I can enter that has all of my stuff inside. And how do you enter a folder of this kind? You use cd. If you do cd my folder, you'll now enter it. As you can see, cd my folder has allowed me to enter my folder. And inside of my folder, if I want, I can create more folders. So I can do mkdir folder 1, and then mkdir folder 2. And how about, what would I have to do, right, in order to be able to view all of the different folders that I have inside my current path? Well, the way you do that is through dir, which is directories. So if you look at this, since we've created folder 1 and folder 2 inside of my folder, they are both visible from here. This also shows all of the different files that you have, including the file sizes, and it allows you to kind of easily manage all of the stuff you've created, so you don't have duplicate copies of things that you don't need. So yeah, keep that in mind. So now we've covered mkdir, cd, and dir. But you might be wondering, how do I change my drive? Because in the actual exam, our test stuff is not going to be on the computer's main drive. So how do we change it? Well, here's how you do it. Firstly, you need to cd and then backslash. This brings you all the way back to the root, the very root, the front, the start of the drive. And from there, switching drives is only a matter of typing the letter that you want followed by your colon. If you enter this, it switches to D drive. If you enter this, it switches to C drive. Okay, small thing to note. If you don't have additional drives on your computer, this might not work. The only reason why this is working for me is because I have a thumb drive that's currently connected to it, which my stuff is going to. So yeah, keep this in mind, but in your actual exam, there will be an additional drive for you to be able to access, and make sure you're saving your work in the right place. Great, now we've covered all of these. You might be wondering, okay, let me go into my folder. What if I want to delete something? Well, if you wanted to delete something, you would have to use rmdir, which is remove directory. So if I do rmdir fol1 and I dir again, see, fol1 is gone. It just has fol2. Now, let me bring this a step further, because you might notice at this side, there are two different rmdirs. So let's say I go into folder 2, and inside of folder 2, I create a new folder called folder 2a. Now, if I exit out of this and I go back to my folder, again, this my folder, though it's a bit confusing, contains folder 2, which contains folder 2a. If I go back to my folder, right, I hit dir, again, there's only one thing inside of here, which is your fol2. If I go there and I try to delete fol2 using rmdir, which is remove directory, you think it's gonna work? Well, the problem is, it won't, because rmdir only works when the directory you're trying to remove is empty, and folder 2 has folder 2a inside of it. So how do you rectify this? Well, you do /s. /s forces it to delete everything, including subfolders and files. So if you do this, it'll ask you if you're sure, hit Y, and if I go dir, see, it's gone. I managed to delete my stuff. After this, there are a few more commands that you will need to know that I will start covering in a moment. Hello everyone. Well, in this, we will be looking at how to deal with actual files themselves, because we've covered how to deal with folders. So let me go and quickly show you how to move, copy, and delete and rename files that we have. So in this case, if you look at the dir, I have something called mywork.txt and a folder called new folder. The goal is simple. I want to move mywork.txt into new folder. So how do I do this? Well, if I do move and then the absolute path, right, which is this slash my folder slash mywork.txt, right, into new folder, and I hit enter, one file has been moved. And if we go down here, oh look, inside of my folder, right, you have to be inside of new folder to see my work. It's no longer just in my folder, which is interesting. That means the move operation was successful. So that is how you would do a move. Similar is how you would do a copy. So in this case, it is similar. You would have to use a source and destination as such. And again, it's going to be a bit more risky for you to have to copy files in computing, but you can go and try this on your own because you do not want to have duplicate files and then submit them and then the examiner having to like cherry pick which one. Like, it's complicated. I've seen it happen before because one of my friends straight up just submitted multiple copies of his Flask app. Yeah, either way, don't rely on copy. I'm just putting it here so you know that it exists. Moving on. Now let's cd into new folder, right? If you go into here and I show you dir again, you're gonna see my work. In this, you can delete and rename the files. So let's do ren, right? In this case, mywork.txt to yourwork.txt. If I enter it and I dir again, see, it now says yourwork.txt, which is effectively the file having changed its name. Great, amazing. How do you delete it? If I do del, which is just deletion, yourwork.txt, again, the command is went through, let's dir again. See, now it's gone. You're probably going to be angry because I've deleted your work, but you did also steal it from me, so yeah, but either way, this is how you can go about renaming, deleting, copying, and moving files, though I don't recommend copying. So beyond this, there's only about 3 commands left that we have to go through. Firstly, the way you open like a Jupyter notebook is just Jupyter and then notebook. Again, it'll be pre-set up in your exam environment. You just need to know that it is how you're supposed to do it. And once you do it, it'll redirect to the root. So you can just open it up from wherever the location you need to save your stuff is, and it should save you a lot of time. If you want to kill it, just Control C. Control C does not copy. It does not copy. It just kills it. And then the last command I'd like to show you for your own peace of mind is CLS. Clear screen. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use CMD to deal with files and folders, especially for your exam requirements. So, hope this is useful. Please rewatch if you want, or send it to anyone who you think might benefit from this. Either way, don't overthink it. In the exam, just chill out. Everything's gonna be okay. Don't forget your stuff and you'll be fine. Okay, see ya.